that can be frustrating because you show up every single day doing what you're supposed to be doing to a certain degree, right? And we're going to talk about that at the end. But you're not getting the results that you want and that you feel you should have by now. Just remember that everything big was once small, right? Every great person, every great entrepreneur, every great CEO or leader, they've been through exactly what you're going through right now. To the World of Wellness, hosted by your favorite wellness coach, Taj. Today I'm planning for it to be kind of short because it's just a quick little video for encouragement for myself and for everybody out there who needs it. So episode number 17 for the podcast, this is Hold the Line. Before we get started, we're going to do our mindful minute like we do. For those of you who are new here, we do a mindful minute. So at the beginning of every podcast episode, it's basically like a short meditation or a short breathwork session. And that just helps me ground into the moment and like release any jitters or tension. And then it helps listeners to ground into the moment as well. So for the next few moments, just breathe with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, put your feet flat on the floor if they're not. Feel whatever is supporting underneath you, behind you. Just lean into it, just sink into it. Keep breathing deep. You can do in through the nose and out through the nose. For the next few moments, I'm just going to be quiet and let you feel your breath, feel your body, and listen to this music. Let your shoulders drop, let your jaw drop and relax. A few more breaths in through the nose. Let these next ones be forceful exhales. Release any tension that's left in your body. One more. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, let's talk about it. So this is for anybody who has been on a journey of growth, of entrepreneurship, improving their status in their career, or just trying to be a better person. Just simply somebody who's been on a journey for a long time and you may be feeling a little discouraged, a little exhausted. This is for you. So I know that you may feel tired. Okay, you may feel like you are going at it alone. You might feel like you've been fighting for a long time, whatever it is, or fighting for whatever it is. But I think when we get into these moments, for one, acknowledge that it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to feel a little bit discouraged. And it's normal to run out of gas. Like, you're human. It's going to happen. And when you combine all the efforts you're putting toward accomplishing your goals or growing or whatever the case may be, with life's curves, when you combine all the effort you're putting toward whatever your goals are, right? And you add life to it and all the curveballs that come and mishaps that you didn't plan for, that weren't even caused by you, right? That can sometimes feel like the straw that broke the camel's back. And it makes you just even more frustrated with the things you feel are not going right or happening fast enough for you. given all the effort that you put in. So, we're going to talk about how to get back on the horse, how to fill your cup back up and get back encouraged, get back excited. And excuse the barking if y'all can hear it, but somebody's little dog out there is upset. But also how to do better at maintaining so that you have these hit the wall moments less frequently. So, if you don't know, I have been on an entrepreneurship journey since I graduated college the first time back in 2017. And I will say it's the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And specifically what I'm doing now, which is becoming a trader, learning how to day trade, because it challenges every aspect of who you say you are. Because every day that you say you're going to do something and you don't, or every time you make a decision that is impulsive versus calculated versus what you know you should be doing, you start to see your weak spots and your cracks and your areas for growth. And entrepreneurship is something that in the beginning, it's not like getting a job and you got to wait 2 weeks for the first pay period to be over, right? And then you get your check. It's not like that at all. Some people don't make money for the first several years of their business. Some people don't become successful day traders. Like my mentor, it took her 2 years to become consistently profitable, right? And I've been on this journey with her since last, I want to say November. And I'm still working on consistency. So that can be frustrating because you show up every single day doing what you're supposed to be doing to a certain degree, right? And we're going to talk about that at the end. But you're not getting the results that you want and that you feel you should have by now. So just remember that everything big was one small, right? Every great person, every great entrepreneur, every great CEO or leader, they've been through exactly what you're going through right now, what we're going through right now. They've had those moments of discouragement. They've had those days where they wanted to just give up or not get up out of bed and just choose to go lay down or be on the beach somewhere, right? Go have a drink. But what sets them apart from everybody else is that they chose to keep going. And I mentioned that in the previous episode about Nipsey Hussle saying, he's like, people try to act like it's something super special about what he was able to accomplish, which it is, but he was being humble about it. But he was saying, the only difference is that I didn't quit. That's it. He said, I had those doubts. I had those moments when he just wanted to walk away from everything. And he chose to stay 10 toes down. And that marathon aspect helped him do that. So I want us to think back on where we were when we first started this journey. Like for me, I can sit and think back on my first entrepreneurship ventures, or when I first graduated from college, or when I first started my trading journey. I thought about this a couple of days ago when I wrote these notes. And think about not only how much you've learned since then, but who you've become. What areas of your life have you grown stronger in your discipline, in your faith, in your self-belief, right? In your consistency? What have you started to do differently that used to be a struggle for you that is now like second nature, right? Like me, getting up, it's still a struggle some days, but it's not something that I continue to negotiate with myself as much as I used to. Because it all comes down to either you want it or you don't. Like the price of success, the success that I'm going toward, that level of greatness is going to cost you a lot. A lot of sleep, a lot of comfort, right? A lot of time, a lot of sacrifice. And I knew that up front. But that doesn't make it any easier to go through day after day of getting up at 3 a.m. or then having to turn around, go to work and like rinse and repeat all over again. It gets to be an exhausting process. But one thing that I used to teach my clients and remind myself of when I feel frustrated is not to stack. So stacking, if you feel stressed, it's probably because you're stacking. So what is stacking? That's putting this circumstance in perspective with this one on top of this one on top of this one. So let's say, for example, you're somebody who you're going for a promotion at work, and at the same time you're working on a project that's like stressful and confusing. So you have that issue. Then you have some home situation going on that maybe it's your spouse and y'all kind of not on the same page, or you and your child are at odds. And then let's say you got a family member who you're very close to who's sick, or you are having a hard time financially, right? What we tend to do as humans, once we get upset about one thing, we think about the next five things that we feel are going wrong in our life, and we put that all together in a big batch of just unhappiness and pain. And what we do is we just dwell on it over and over again. We play all these scenarios through and think about all these energy drainers, essentially, is what they are, because the facts of life are, it is what it is, and you can only do what you can do. So to avoid stacking, to avoid making this journey of growth any harder than it has to be, take a step back and ask yourself, first of all, I do have a video. It's an old video on how to stop stressing, and it's on the channel. So if you are dealing with stress specifically right now, I need you to go visit that video. I'll leave a little pop-up somewhere, probably at the end of the video, for it, because it's very helpful and it's very practical. So ask yourself, what can I control about what's going on in my life? What can I do? And that, like, this is essentially what I talk about in the video, but from there, you can either decide to do something about the situation to change it, or you just let it be what it is and let time take care of it. Because some things are truly beyond our control. But a lot of things we can do something to make the situation better and less stressful. It's just that we're avoiding it, which is making us more stressed because we're just constantly thinking about it. So try not to stack. I know that life can be overwhelming sometimes, but stressing yourself out by adding all the things together and then thinking back on past things that are hard for you or stressful for you, it's not going to make the journey any easier, any lighter. And so just try not to do it. The next thing you want to do is take care of yourself. I made a post, I think yesterday or the day before, and it was essentially saying, as you take on more responsibility for self, as you continue to hold yourself more and more accountable to up your efforts and do more for your goals, start prioritizing self-care, like real self-care, time with yourself to reflect. It can sometimes look like a bubble bath or a walk in the park, because for me, that is very much a part of self-care. It helps me mentally and physically release tension. I went and got a massage this morning because for the past 2 weeks, I've been working very hard and I've been very exhausted. So it's just checking in with yourself and giving yourself, your body and your mind, what it needs, so that you're not causing any extra stress, and the stress that is there has some place to go and to dissipate. And you can kind of recalibrate. So, and again, look back on how far you've come. And even if you haven't made money yet in your business, even if you haven't gotten a promotion or gotten the recognition from your boss, the knowledge that you've acquired is an indication of your growth. So again, measure your progress appropriately. And I talked about this before. When you're going towards a goal, it's frustrating to look at the mountain, right, and say, I'm so far from the top, versus I took these 3 steps last week, and this week, these are the next 3 steps that I'm going to take. That, taking things and putting them into bite-sized pieces, it makes you feel so much more empowered than constantly measuring your progress up against the very end goal that's going to take months, years, or weeks. Okay. So one thing that I've done recently too is took my goals and put them into smaller goals. And I've known to do this for a long time, but it's just something I haven't done. I've kept it all up here. So if your goal is to lose, let's say, I don't know, 20 pounds, or if your goal is to grow your social media to a certain amount of followers or supporters or whatever, views, how can you take that big goal and make it like a 30-day goal? And then from there, from that 30-day goal, what's your goal every week? What are the things that you know are going to contribute to that goal the most? The most important things, not the fluff or the busy work, but what can you do? Practical steps you can take every single day that you can put on your agenda. And if you check those things off your agenda, they're going to result in that 30-day goal being accomplished. And 30 days goes by like that. Like, we've all seen how fast this whole year has gone. So if you feel like you're not making any progress, it could be one, because you're not doing enough, but it could also be because you're not acknowledging the things that you have done. So it's so important to distinguish between those two and then start to do those things, because that's going to add fuel. And the other thing, we're wrapping up, along with taking care of yourself, try to have fun. I know it can be difficult when you are so fixated on a goal, right? But life is for the living. And I am somebody who believes in taking no days off, but I also believe that you have to make time for the people and the things that you love, because if you were to die tomorrow, I wouldn't want you to die just running on air, running on E, because you're not filling your cup up with the things that used to make you smile or used to make you laugh, right? Before you went through the heartbreak, before you decided to go for the promotion, before you decided to start the business, what were the things that used to make your cup full? For me, one thing that I really miss is dancing. Like, not being in Atlanta at the moment, one of the hardest things about it is like, I can't just go pop into a dance class and just vibe with my people. Like, that used to be such a boost of energy and excitement in my life. And so now what I'm going to do is put on some Aaliyah Janelle videos and try to learn some choreography once or twice a week and use it as a dance workout, because that's something that brings me great joy. Or going to sing at an open mic, or doing new things also to bring more excitement into your life, and so it doesn't just feel monotonous. Like, I want to go for a boxing class. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So one thing that I've decided to do each month is seek out a new experience. So like pottery classes, painting classes, boxing, a different type of dance, like a ballroom dance class or like a salsa, something like that, just so that it's like life still has its zest and its freshness. And that's one thing that contributes heavily to wellness and enjoying your life. Like, I consider myself a lover of life because I'm always looking for new ways to make my life juicy. Like, I work hard, so it's important that I prioritize my play. And that's something that I have not done enough this year, so I have to up that, but I also have to up my efforts. So also, if you're somebody who you're not making progress because you know you're not doing enough, you have to up it. And I'm going to put one of my favorite motivational videos in the description that I just found this past week. A lot of Eric Thomas speaking is on there. And he basically is like, you might just have to make that one tweak for you to see your success, right? It may not be you are doing 1,000 different things wrong. He said it could be you getting up 30 minutes earlier that's going to make a difference, right? Staying 30 minutes later and working that's going to make the difference. It could be the smallest tweak. If you're someone who's been on their journey for a long time, you might be right at the door. So don't give up now, but ask yourself, what's the tweak, right? What's that 1% more that I can do that's going to get me there that much faster, right? Is it my consistency? Is it my level of intensity? Am I just being too relaxed about my process, but saying that I want it, but I'm not coming with that energy that's like, he likes to say, you got to have that dog in you. Like, that's what's going to get you up at 4 a.m. while everybody is sleeping. That's what's going to keep you up at midnight when everybody is sleeping, or keeping you recording a podcast episode on a Saturday evening when you could be out having drinks. You got to really want it like you say you want it, or be real with yourself and say, I'm not ready for that. And that's a choice you make, because if you make that choice, then you just stay stuck where you are. But also, while I'm on that topic, maybe you don't really want it. Like, that goal has lost its luster to you and it's no longer a passion. Like, I've had that happen so many times because I used to switch from thing to thing to thing because I get bored fast. But I had to zero in on what's the one thing that could really change my life if I get it, like if I'm able to accomplish it, and go all in on that. So for you, because of what life has, or how life has progressed, or how you have changed, you may not even want that goal anymore, and that's okay. So if you're somebody who that resonates with, don't worry about what people are going to say about you changing your mind, or you not showing up in a certain way anymore, or whatever. Like, know that there's something better for you that is going to resonate with who you are now, and you just have to find that thing. And when you find that thing, the fact that it resonates with you so deeply, that's going to be more fuel for you to go after your goals. So if you're constantly week after week, day after day not showing up, it's because something in you, either you don't really believe you can do it, or you just don't really want it, and you wanted it for the wrong reasons, or maybe for the right reasons, but you've changed since then. That's okay. And that's a natural part of life. I want us to get more comfortable with the changes, choosing to put things down, choosing to walk away, choosing to change our beliefs, right? And say, okay, yeah, yesterday that was the truth I decided to live in, but today I choose to change my belief. I choose to show up as this person. Have the courage to do that, and life is going to reward you, okay? And just promise yourself to never, ever give up. Promise to never give up, because you've already seen what this part of life has to offer. So you might as well, with all the pain you've been through and all the effort you've put in, you might as well make it to the end and make it all worth it. So that's all I have. The next episode is going to be about how to toughen up, okay? Because I do a lot of comfort talk and encouragement, and that's so important. But sometimes we just need to hear, like, you gotta woman up, you gotta man up. And that comes with facing criticism, facing what naysayers got to say, or haters, or dealing with people who are negative in your environment. Like, we're going to go into that next, because that can also be draining your energy and why you feel so tired. But hold the line, okay? Hold the line, stay 10 toes down, and know that this too shall pass. This too shall pass, okay? If this helped you, give it a thumbs up. And you can stay connected with me through IG or TikTok at The World of Taj. Yeah, that's it. Until next time, your favorite wellness coach signing out. Peace.